Hey Flappers, thank you for joining me again for another character guide video. First, I want to thank everyone for the support you have shown me in the past week. It makes the hours of research into making these videos worth it. For those who are here for the first time, I have timestamps for different parts of the video, so feel free to navigate to parts you would like to see. I update all my guides when new characters and items come out, and if there has been an update, I will link to it on the screen now. If there is not a link on screen now, then that means this guide is the most up-to-date so far. Today's character is Xingqiu, and I feel he is not really talked about right now, but is an amazing support DPS character. Last thing before we get into it, do remember to pump some love for that like button, as it really helps out with getting my videos out there, and being a small channel, I need every bit of help I can get. So thanks in advance. Now let's get into the video. Xingqiu is currently one of the best support DPS characters. Being a Hydro character, Xingqiu offers an amazing synergy to all main DPS characters. The key to making Xingqiu work at peak efficiency is to get his Ascension 4 passive, which offers a 20% Hydro attack bonus. For his skills, you want to prioritize his Elemental skill and Elemental burst to level up first, since you would only be using him for his skills and will not be keeping him out on the field for auto attacks. The biggest reason Xingqiu's kit is considered one of, if not the best support DPS, is because, much like Fischl, he does not need to be on the field to absolutely slap butt cheeks. Both his elemental skill and his burst remain on the field even when he is not, allowing you to maximize your team's overall DPS while applying the wet status to mobs. So, for characters like Keqing, Diluc, Xiangling, and all other elemental carries, Xingqiu is an absolute baller of a DPS support. So now let's get into how to actually build him. For his weapons and artifacts, there really isn't many options. In fact, there is just one way to maximize his efficiency, and that is the Sacrificial Sword with the Noblesse Oblige. With the Sacrificial Sword, your goal is to keep his elemental skill up as often as possible. Noblesse Oblige 2-set and 4-set bonus fits Xingqiu perfectly, being a character that exists to use his skills to support DPS for the team. Elemental burst damage 20% is great, same with the 4-piece set. When he uses an elemental burst, your entire team gets a 20% attack buff. Xingqiu's elemental burst lasts for 15 seconds and has a 20-second cooldown with 80 energy cost. The best way to fully utilize this kit would be to build for energy regen, then hydro damage, and then attack percentage. So these are the stats you would be looking for on your artifacts. Energy regen is a no-brainer for Xingqiu, as if you hit over 180% energy recharge, using his elemental skill 2 times will be enough to get his burst skill, ultimately allowing Xingqiu to have near permanent uptime for damage assistance. Currently, there is no character in the game that can push out this much support damage with relatively low resources put in. If you do not have the Sacrificial Sword, the only alternative I can suggest is the Favonius Sword. Now, this is not an optimal weapon and should only be used as a last resort. Xingqiu's kit really demands the ability to cycle through skills with minimal downtime, especially his burst skill should be used on cooldown. That being said, Favonius at Refinement 0 does have a chance to generate 1 Elemental Orb every 12 seconds. It's definitely not great, but if you love Xingqiu but do not have the Sacrificial Sword, you can give Favonius Sword a go. Now let's look at some of the teams Xingqiu can shine in. Let me start by saying Xingqiu can work supporting any main DPS, and I mean any. You want to use Amber as main DPS, guess what? Slap Xingqiu as support DPS and he will still rock your world. That being said, here are some teams that I think will really have through the roof damage with Xingqiu supporting them. Firstly, we have to talk about the pyro carries for the free-to-play players. Xiangling main carry with Xingqiu support DPS will absolutely knock the socks off most, if not all, the content currently in the game. For this team, you can have Xiangling main DPS, Xingqiu support, Diona healer, and Bennett elemental support. Substituting Bennett with Amber if you don't have Bennett. Now, if you haven't built Xiangling yet, please do check out my Xiangling guide. I will have it either on screen or in the description below. This is a team that's focused around heavy damage mitigation with Xingqiu elemental skill and Diona shield to maximize Xiangling's DPS. With Vaporize and Melt synergies, you'd be slapping cheeks while not even needing to look at your screen. This team is not mechanically demanding, is relatively easy to build, and can contend with 5-star rosters when it comes to damage output. Now you can replace Xiangling with any 5-star pyro carries such as Klee and Diluc to beef up the team even more, so if you have not built Xingqiu, do give him a try. Second team would be an Electro carry team with Razor or Beidou as your main carry, Xingqiu support DPS, Barbara or Diona healer, and Fischl support. This team focuses around the high voltage resonance and ultimate spam to have perma electro charge synergy with Xingqiu supporting. The key here is to have your main DPS to have their burst skill up as often as possible while synergizing with Xingqiu's hydro attribute to have permanent elemental reactions. This team is a lot more fast-paced with more swapping and support damage through Xingqiu and Fischl to constantly have their support running on the field to facilitate your main carry's damage. Now for this team, if you have a Keqing, you may use her instead of Beidou and Razor. Now finally, I want to tell you that Xingqiu support can work with any main DPS but will work better with those who have faster attack speed. As his burst skill lasts for 15 seconds and is activated through normal attacks, characters with higher attack speed will benefit more from this. Building Xingqiu will no doubt boost your team's DPS regardless, and if you don't have him built, give this build a try and be amazed as your enemies will just disappear. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, remember to caress that like button gently. Also, subscribe if you haven't and want to see more videos. I upload daily, so there's always some content for you to watch. Be it memes, guides, discussion, rant, or gameplay, check the link in the description to my Discord server. The first 100 members do get a special role and currently only 80 spot remains. And with that concludes the video for today, and I will see you all in tomorrow's video. So until then, peace.